Number 10. From YouTube to jail. Mona Lisa Perez shot and killed her boyfriend while pregnant with her second child, but she didn't do it on purpose. Well, actually, she did shoot him on purpose. She just didn't think he would die. It all happened during a botched stunt that the couple wanted to post on YouTube. The 20-year-old mother from Minnesota blasted Pedro Ruiz III, her serious boyfriend, straight in his chest. Immediately after the shooting, Mona Lisa called the police and told them what happened. According to her, Pedro had asked her to shoot him with a .50 caliber Desert Eagle pistol while he was holding an encyclopedia against his chest. The bullet was supposed to get stuck in the encyclopedia. They'd post the video online and get thousands of subscribers, and then they would make millions of dollars on YouTube. After all, isn't that what the American dream is all about? The things people do for views. The couple set up a pair of cameras for the stunt. Their 3-year-old daughter was also in the room watching. Mona Lisa fired the gun, but the bullet went straight through the encyclopedia and killed her boyfriend. She was looking at 10 years in prison for murder, but is expected to serve just 6 months in jail for the stunt. Her diminished sentence comes from the fact that she hadn't meant to kill him, and also that it was Pedro's own idea for her to do it. But still, she has consequences. She'll be on supervised probation for 10 years. She's not allowed to own a gun, and she can't make any money resulting from the video of the deadly stunt gone wrong. Number 9. Failed Houdini. A failed Houdini was discovered handcuffed to a tree in Russia after a botched magic trick. And here's the deal, his skeleton was found 2 years after he went missing. 2 whole years. His name was Ivan Klucharev, just 30 years old when he was last seen in May of 2017. He vanished 80 miles, 129 kilometers from Moscow, in the remote region of Shatura. And even though there was an extensive search for Ivan, authorities just couldn't find him. But before we get into what happened, let's take a brief look at who Ivan was. He was infamous amongst his friends for being an avid hiker and a Harry Houdini enthusiast. He loved magic tricks. He loved survival. And it appears that he tried to put both of them together. He hiked out into the middle of the wilderness and tried to recreate one of Harry Houdini's most famous escapes, getting himself out of a pair of handcuffs. Sadly for Ivan, he couldn't pull it off. He died in the forest, all alone, except for the camera pointing at him. When Ivan was discovered, nothing was left but a skeleton and a pair of loose handcuffs around his wrists and secured to a tree. There was a tent nearby, 5 more sets of handcuffs, 3 metal chains, a book on how to do knots, and a small assortment of padlocks. There also happened to be a camera pointing directly at Ivan's skeleton. It looks like he was trying to record the escape, which he undoubtedly would have posted on YouTube. Number 8. Timbo the Redneck. You may know Timothy Hall as Timbo the Redneck, an online personality who was based out of Florida. Timothy Hall got famous by uploading videos of redneck antics, things like cruising around in a pickup truck in the small town of Jennings. In fact, that pretty much sums up every video he ever made, just booting around town in his truck with his friends. But to spice things up a bit, Timothy decided to do a dangerous stunt with his beloved pickup truck. The stunt took place in the front yard of his friend's house. He and his girlfriend were in his pickup doing donuts, spinning around faster and faster. But pickup trucks aren't exactly designed for donuts. They don't tend to stick in a tight circle like a little car can. Timothy flipped his truck over. He flew out the window as it flipped, and the truck landed directly on him. He was literally crushed to death by the very pickup truck that helped make him famous online. At the time of his death, he was only 18 years old. His mother uploaded a TikTok video to thank all his fans. His friends took to YouTube to describe his brutal death and let everyone know that there will be no more videos from Timbo the Redneck. Number 7. Passing out in Times Square. Here's a YouTube stunt that's sure to make everyone a little upset. A man was arrested for pretending to pass out inside his vehicle in the middle of Times Square, New York City. According to the police, the man faked having a medical emergency, sitting slumped against the steering wheel with the car horn blaring. Naturally, the people in Times Square were worried that this guy had an accident. He was backing up traffic, people were freaking out, and it became a very serious situation. A police officer even smashed out his window. But in reality, there was no accident. The YouTuber, identified as Zishan Soroya, had placed a hidden camera in the car to record the entire affair, just so that he could post what happened on YouTube. He was eventually pulled out of the car. He didn't tell the first responders that he was doing it for a video, and they treated him like they would anyone else. The real trouble came once the police figured out that it was all fake. They arrested him on charges of making a false report and obstructing governmental administration. The NYPD commissioner tweeted about the incident, saying that it was a very dangerous stunt that caused first responders to be away from other New Yorkers who actually needed them. Plus, the stunt was so reckless and kind of annoying that Zishan may have ruined his YouTube career before it even started. Some things are funny, and some things just rub people the wrong way. How does this stunt make you feel? Should someone abusing emergency services just to collect subscribers be punished? And if so, how? Let us know your thoughts in the comments below. And if you're liking this video, be sure to hit the thumbs up and subscribe buttons if you haven't already. Number 6. Parachute fail. A 29-year-old man was filming a stunt for his YouTube channel when he had a major malfunction with his parachute. His name was Ruben Carbonell from Spain, and his stunt was about as dangerous as it gets. He and a friend broke into a cement factory and then jumped off the top of the building. They did it in San Vicente del Raspeig at about 1 o'clock in the morning. Ruben jumped off the roof first, expecting his parachute to open and carry him gently to the ground while he recorded the whole thing for his followers. But his parachute didn't work. The thing just refused to open, and so Ruben literally jumped off the top of the building and fell 150 feet to his grisly death on the concrete below. He probably didn't feel much, since his brains basically exploded upon impact. Ruben's YouTube channel was all about extreme sports. He had all kinds of other videos already posted on his channel, with him jumping from bridges, other decrepit buildings, and all kinds of risky places. He mainly parachuted and paraglided, and until now, he had no problems. But as we can plainly see, it only takes one mistake to wind up dead. Number 5. Freezing in a lake. A popular YouTuber in Norway has died at the young age of 57. His death came as a complete shock to his fans, and indeed, probably to the YouTuber himself. One second, he was filming himself ice skating on a frozen lake. The next, he was dead. His name was Tor Eckhoff, known by his fans as Apator. He was a factory worker in the daytime and an amateur content creator by night. He mostly uploaded YouTube videos of himself, frolicking in the ice and snow, traveling to different parts of Norway, and hanging with the local wildlife. On November 26th, he ventured out onto the frozen water of Jacob's Dam to do some ice skating. But within just minutes, he ended up beneath the ice in the freezing cold water. And even though the Norwegian man was used to these kinds of temperatures and had swum in freezing cold water before, he couldn't make it back to the surface this time. He had to be rescued by divers, and by then it was too late. The paramedics couldn't bring him back to life. They sent him by air ambulance to the nearest hospital, and the next day, he was taken off the life support machines and pronounced dead. Number 4. Gender reveal plane crash. In 2021, gender reveal parties are often just excuses to make the wildest and most insane YouTube videos for a quick 15 minutes of fame. The more outlandish and dramatic the reveal, the more attention you're gonna get online. But this has caused a bunch of different freak accidents, including a recent plane crash in Mexico. The gender reveal party was taking place in Cancun. On March 30th, 2021, a Cessna 206 airplane left Holbox Island carrying 4 people. The plane was on its way to Cancun with a small stopover in Playa del Carmen to refuel. At 3:54, the plane flew near Cancun's hotel zone. It was here that the plane was to release either blue or pink smoke to show the gender of the baby. Family members were on a yacht with their phones out, recording what should have been a momentous moment for the expectant couple. Pink smoke spat out of the plane. It was a baby girl. But then disaster struck. The pink smoke streamed from the back of the plane, and seconds later, the plane nosedived into the water and crashed. Both the pilot and co-pilot were killed instantly. Only one of their bodies was recovered from the water, and authorities still have no idea what exactly happened. We only know that it almost certainly had something to do with all that pink smoke billowing out of the back. And even though the stunt backfired, the video of the accident still gets plenty of online views. Number 3. Roundabout of death. A couple of really awful teenagers were trying to recreate a video they saw on YouTube when a young boy was left with potential brain damage and his eyes bulging out of his head. The boy, 11-year-old Tyler Broom, was discovered unconscious near an English playground after a group of teens convinced him to sit in the middle of a roundabout. Once Tyler was in the roundabout, they spun it at extremely high speed using the back wheel of a motorcycle. The intense force of spinning caused Tyler to black out and go unconscious. Yet the teenagers continued revving the engine and spinning the roundabout. There was so much G-force that fluid and blood was forced into Tyler's skull, threatening to cause irreversible damage to his brain while pushing his eyes out of their sockets. This was honestly one of the most brutal cases of YouTube recreation gone wrong in recent memory. The poor kid didn't even know the teenagers who convinced him to take part in their stunt. When it was clear he needed medical attention, they took off running instead of helping him. Tyler had such extreme injuries that he looked like an alien, with hospital staff barely knowing what to do with him. Last we heard, Tyler was still in the hospital, with doctors waiting to see if the swelling in his brain would go down. He was under constant threat of having a stroke, and nobody had any idea how long it would take for his injuries to heal. And finally, to make things even worse, the police haven't been able to track down the group of teenagers that did this to this kid. Number 2. Losing both legs. Arkady Askanov was 11 years old when he decided that he needed to be a YouTube star. To propel himself to stardom, he thought it would be a good idea to train surf in what was supposed to be his first viral video. Sadly for this young boy, the train surfing stunt went terribly wrong, and he fell off a moving cargo train in Russia. The wheels then ran over him, literally slicing off both his legs. He was completely cut in half, with everything below his buttocks removed by the train's wheels. But the tragedy doesn't stop there. Arkady was with a group of boys who allegedly helped pressure him into doing the dangerous stunt. When he fell and got run over, all the boys he had been with ran away and left him for dead. That's what his mother, Maria Petrova, told local news. The real miracle here is that the boy survived at all. It was the driver of the train who stopped his engine and got out to give him emergency first aid and call for paramedics. He survived the most brutal thing imaginable, literally being torn in half, and now has the rest of his life to plot his next dangerous stunt. Number 1. Rope Swing Daredevil. Kyle Lee Stocking was trying to recreate a popular stunt that he saw on YouTube when he fell to his death. He was trying to use climbing ropes to jump off a cliff in Utah and then swing beneath the Corona Arch. The arch is about 140 feet tall, not exactly your playground swing set. Kyle was inspired to try the dangerous stunt after seeing a video of climbers flying beneath the arch on a rope, a video that got over 17 million views. But Kyle was an amateur. He had no business trying something so dangerous. According to what local sheriff Lieutenant Kim Neal said, Kyle miscalculated the length of the rope needed for the swing. He jumped off the cliff, thinking he would easily sail between the arches like in the YouTube video, but he actually smacked into the ground instead and was killed instantly. What's the craziest, most out-of-control YouTube stunt you've ever seen in real life? Let us know in the comments, and thanks a lot for watching. Remember to hit subscribe if you enjoyed the video to help support the channel. See you again soon for more awesome stuff. Bye!